right then? And that four-letter word, fear, is what controls the world. Fear, the manipulation of fear. So what you have are two states of being that get hundreds of sheep exactly where the farmer and the sheepdog want every day. And those two states of being are ba, 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 and fear, which gets the few to do the same. Staggeringly, we may find watching a group of sheep like that funny. Oh, come on, Ethel, come and look at these sheep. They're so stupid. And yet, the human herd, because that's what we've become, has out-sheep the sheep. Because we have actually dispensed with the sheepdog. We police each other. It has become a crime to be different. Anyone who's different from the norm gets ridicule or condemnation. Instead of expressing and welcoming and encouraging and glorying in the unique contributions we all have to make, we condemn them or ridicule them. Now, this is not just navel contemplating. It is fundamental to how a few have controlled the world for literally thousands of years. And unless we break this, they'll go on doing it. What it means is that all you have to do to control the direction of the world and control literally billions of people is to set the norms in society. What is considered right and wrong, moral or immoral, sane or insane, possible or impossible. And once you set those norms by controlling the education system, crikey, education system, crikey, what a word. Someone said, was Gandhi was asked what he thought of Western civilization, and he said, I think it would be a very good idea. What do I think of education? I think it would be a very good idea. I think it's about time we had some. So through controlling the education system, the mantra messages through the media, confirming that these norms are how life is, the vast majority of people in the human herd, from cradle to grave, occupy those norms and live their lives within them because they think that's reality. Now that's fine, that's a choice, I don't have a problem with that. But we seem to find it so hard to make those choices and let other people make different choices. So the reason the few can control the world as they do and have for so long is not just that vast numbers of people live within the norms, it's that those people insist those people that want to live outside the norms conform as well. So the key state of being, which is the foundation of all that I'm talking about, is the one you'll find in the vast, overwhelming majority, all but a handful, literally, of human beings. It's the fear of what other people think of them. Once you're in that mode, and that's the eggshell, then you're in trouble. Because suddenly you're not living your life, you're not expressing your uniqueness, you're living someone else's version of what you should be. You're already in prison, you're in what I call the hassle-free zone of norms. You've conceded what you are to what someone says you should be. And if enough people do that, and we do, whoever sets the norms runs the world. And what happens then, of course, is that when you're on the edge of that hassle-free zone and you're thinking, shall I, shan't I express my uniqueness? Shall I go with what my heart's telling me? What is the fear at that point that is making us resist? Oh, should I, shouldn't I? We're not at that point thinking, what will the President of the United States think if I express my uniqueness? What will the Pope think? Although some people will do that. My goodness me, why, I don't know, but they do. Or what will the Governor of the Bank of England or the head of the Federal Reserve think? No. What's making us resist expressing our uniqueness is our fear of what our mother will think. Oh my God, what will my mother say? What will the guys down the bar say, or the people at work? In other words, the people's reaction that keeps us in those norms are the people who are already in there. So the sheep have also become the sheepdog. The police have also become the police. The inmates of the prison are also the prison warders. Now, this combination, I repeat because it is so important, this combination means that whoever sets the norms in society runs the world. If, and the big, big if we concede our uniqueness to it and insist that everyone else does the same. And then when the norms are set, different aspects of the herd are played off against each other. So religions have been created, and we'll get into that because it's remarkable how the religions which fight each other and conflict with each other actually come down to the same people. Same story too when you look into it. So they play different aspects of the herd off against each other. Religion is played off against religion. Political party is played against political party. Economic theory against economic theory. And so we've set the norms that have created the herd, and then the herd is set at war with itself. And while we're cussing each other and fighting each other and blaming each other, the few people are string pulling all these different elements and creating the key element that's necessary for the few to control the many, divide and rule. So when I'm going through this story, I'm not kind of getting into, and I don't want to get into, it's them. What I'm talking about here is because of us. Without us, none of this stuff will be possible, which is great news because we can uncreate it in the period we're going through now. Just say one other thing before I move on about this. You know, most of the things, most of the belief systems, because that's what it is, belief, that are played off against each other, that conflict with each other and fight with each other, they're actually just the same state of being with a different name. I wonder what the difference is between, say, a Christian family that insists that their children believe what they believe and a Jewish family that insists their children believe what they believe. What's the difference? It's just that they believe slightly different things, and they are slightly, but they're still indoctrinating their children into a belief instead of saying, you have all the information available and we encourage it, and whatever you come up with, whatever you make of that information, I'm at peace with because you're unique and I'm not going to tell you what to think. So if we want to be free, we have to start by setting ourselves free and setting other people free, not least our children to be who they really are and not what we'd like them to be. And what I call these opposites that are not opposites, I call them opposames. And it's amazing when you look around the different groups that are fighting and conflicting, when you look at the core of what they're saying and they believe and their actions and their ways of acting, you're not looking at opposites at all. You're looking at the same state of mind with a different dress on. I'll give you a quick example. During the last war, the World War, Second World War, the far left, as symbolized by Joseph Stalin, communism, was played off against the opposite, the far right, symbolized by Adolf Hitler, the Nazis. Now, they had to be opposites because we're told they are. That's the left, that's the right. Wow, let's have a look at them. Let's just check this one out. The far left, as symbolized by Joseph Stalin, was into centralized control, military dictatorship, and concentration camps. Now, the far right must have been very different because they're opposites. I read it somewhere. The far right are into centralized control, military dictatorship, and concentration camps. And they were played off against each other. They're not opposites, they're opposames. One thing I think we need to remember all the time, opposites never fight. They never take part in wars, because the opposite of a state of mind that believes that war is an option and conflict is an option and violence is an option is the state of mind that says it's never an option, because violence and war and conflict never solve anything.